we can't help it, man. What a great singer there, huh? Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. It's cold, but we're still out here.
Yeah, we are.
The news continues today with a little bit about what happened on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw what happened on Twitter yesterday, but I had some popcorn popping, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it a little bit.
I only caught un poquito.
Un poquito,
to see Doug Ducey's man Scarpinato calling out Congressman Biggs.
Yeah.
And to say that he will end up in some kind of nut house. Is that how I heard it?
Crazy Town.
Crazy Town.
Which is a terrible band.
Yes.
Which is a terrible band.
All night long.
All night long.
That's a song. Okay.
Okay, all right. So today, our guest is Brianna Westbrook.
Hi.
Vice Chair for the Arizona Democratic Party. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
You got it. So let's dive right in, and I'll go with question one. Tell us a little bit about the work you do as Vice Chair for the AZ Dem Party.
Well, I do a lot, including my term here in January. For the last 2 years, I've been the chair of the Fundraising and Events Committee, making sure that events are inclusive, making sure that voices are heard, making sure that they're accessible, which has been like an ongoing fight. But we've been able to improve the way that we host our events and inclusivity.
Okay.
Also been like a leading voice for getting some resolutions passed at the state party for full party support for things like the Green New Deal, healthcare, and just bringing like transparency and like demystifying the entire process of like the entire party structure, which is not in my job description, but I wanted to do that, and I feel like I accomplished that over 2 years.
Very nice. So you're wearing a shirt, the Green New Deal, which is a trigger word for people on both sides of the party. Both sides, doesn't reds, blues, greens, whoever. And another one.
Yeah, speaking of trigger words.
Yeah.
One of the things, and it is kind of true, right? And I saw you posted something on Twitter in relationship to defunding the police. The meaning of it and why are people afraid of it, but more importantly, you were speaking to the fact that, hey, I, as a white person, as I recall, should not be telling, people of color how they should use this phrase. So can you tell us and dive in a little bit on defund the police, what it means, and
what this fear is about the title?
Yeah, we've heard it even within our own groups, right?
Yeah.
The progressive groups. So yeah.
Well, I think it means a lot of different things depending on who you ask.
Okay.
To me, it's defunding the police means cut the police budget and start funding some social service programs that are severely underfunded, and stop over-policing poor Black and Brown neighborhoods, because we know that that's happening. It's happening in every single city, every single major city throughout our entire country. Police budgets are out of control, and they've been out of control for a long time. The police force has been an oppressive force since the 1800s, and we've seen it continue to be ramped up over the years. In the mid-90s, you had the launch of the 1033 program, which gave like a surplus of the Army and military's previous used equipment to police forces. Democrats supported bills such as like Bill Clinton, our new president-elect, even Bernie Sanders, all supported, the crime bill. And it's been a continuous thing, is funding the police departments and treating our criminal justice system and incarceration basically as a for-profit industry, and which it shouldn't be.
Right.
And I think defund the police is a word that can get misconstrued quickly, particularly by people within the Democratic Party. And I think it's not their place to even say anything, because this isn't the Democratic Party's thing to say or even speak to. Because this is organizers and activists. These people don't have trust in the party to begin with. And to tell them to tone down their message and to change it to their liking as the Democratic Party, I think is horrible. I think it's a great slogan because it's keeping the conversation alive. Unlike a lot of these other weak, watered down statements that are said that really stand for nothing. This is very explicit in what it means. And I think why it's good is because it makes people uncomfortable. So it makes people have conversations like this around police budgets, around the criminal justice system. So I think it's a brilliant slogan. I think Green New Deal is a brilliant slogan. These are things that are common sense things, and I'm really glad that it's still going strong, and it's going to continue to go strong. It's not going away.
Yeah.
It's on the police.
And as you say, like just the word, it triggers reactions. And I'm going to give an example. So yesterday, my dear friend Kelly for Red for Ed, she shared the link, and the first topic, it just said defund the police. And within 2-3 minutes of posting it, and I didn't even know she posted it. Usually she shares it because she likes her show, but within 3 minutes she got a text. She's like, Chico, I'm getting hammered over here. I'm like, what's up? She's like, all of a sudden there's like 20 educators saying that this is too political. Why is this on an education board? Not that our kids are not affected by this at all, right? And to all of those that were sending horrible messages to Kelly, shame on you. And two, if you don't think public education is not political, then you haven't been paying attention the last 2 years.
Well, and then also, I mean, to your point, right? Defund the police gets the conversation going, but then I guess the bigger question most of us should be asking is, what does that mean, right? And I remember having a community meeting with several constituents in my district a few months ago, and they were older and very conservative in their thinking, and they asked me about defund the police, and I think sometimes we have a responsibility to your point, educate, and the reality is, and I think what people misunderstand is, it is a conversation starter. It is about talking about our value system in terms of how the city of Phoenix, as well as other cities, a majority, more than half their budget goes to law enforcement. And right now, in our state, in this city, we are having an issue with large numbers of people becoming homeless, and those numbers are going to continue to increase. We have people with serious mental health concerns that aren't being addressed. We have children that are missing meals. There is a host of social service programs that cannot get funded because the money is going to law enforcement. So that's the real conversation is, as a society, do we value people and how we help them so they can get a leg up? Or are we going to continue to incarcerate and throw them in jail? And those, we're going to continue to see numbers of people, anyway, that's a real conversation.
And that is a real conversation for our society. Do we want to help people that need help, or do we just want to lock it away? And that's what a large part of it boils down to. So, all right. So we just had an election, and it was in terms of the Democratic Party. It was good federally. Down ballot, not so great. So, with that being said, where do you see the party going in response to progressives?
Well, progressivism is here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
And I see the party continuing to become more and more progressive as we look towards the future. There's clear divides when it comes down to age. Democrats age 18 to 40. There was a poll done for Progress, and the plurality of them actually supported socialism and capitalism, progressive policies like deportation moratorium, Medicare for all, Green New Deal, overwhelmingly supported by younger generations. This is the future of the Democratic Party. This is the largest voting bloc in the Democratic Party heading into 2022 and 2024 is millennials and Gen X. We have a generational divide. We have many people in positions of power within the Democratic Party that have been in positions of power for a really long time. And we talk about like the that nature. So there's a lot of pushback against progressivism. And there's a lot of excuses that progressive issues are the reasons why Democrats lose. And, which is a completely false narrative, because like 98%, 99% of the co-sponsors of like Medicare for All and the Green New Deal won the re-election. Our candidates on the county that fell behind didn't lose because of their progressive values and their progressive issues. They lost because we didn't make early investments in our community, and that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party needs to do more community building. We need to invest early. We need to start having more conversations with people in our voting precincts. We need to ensure that everybody understands the importance of becoming a PC and what that job entails.
Which, by the way, a lot of viewers may not know what a PC is. So, I mean, it's a precinct committee person, right? And that is a person that is, do you want to explain it really quickly?
I think the easiest way to explain it is they're basically like the block watch captain, the block captain for their voting precinct.
Yeah.
It's their job to say hello to their neighbor that's a Democrat, make sure that they're at their house, they're there, drop off cookies, say hello, like how's the kids, just do a quick check-in. And there's responsibilities that come with that. You know, you want to get out the vote, of course, in your voting precinct. You want to update the van with new people that might be moving in or moving out.
And again, people might not know what the van is, right? So I just kind of highlight this because the reality is that a lot of people fail to understand how local politics, in terms of what the Democratic Party does at the state level, but then also what each precinct person, each district has a precinct committee person. Anyway, it's very complex. So I think you're just highlighting something that we probably should, you know, talk about a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And educate, because, you know, as a precinct committee person, and there's a possibility, I'm kind of changing the subject a little bit, I apologize.
It's all right.
You know, there's a possibility that there's going to be several congressional seats that might open up in case that current President-elect Biden selects certain congressmen to fill a job elsewhere, which means that that seat might open up, and the precinct committee people, the Democratic Party plays a role in that. So,
That could lead to a lot of moving parts.
right, exactly,
Yeah.
because then if a seat opens up there, and let's say somebody from the Arizona State Legislature decides to go for that seat, that will open up a seat in the House of Representatives or in the Senate. And again, there's a lot of moving parts, and so I wanted to throw that out there.
And thank you, because I find that a lot of people don't understand there's actually a lot of power within that precinct committee person.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that we don't really look at the party as. We don't look at it as a power building structure, and we should be, in my opinion. And these precinct committee positions not only do that, but you get to vote on your leadership for your county party. You get to introduce resolutions for your local Democratic Party platform, and they're very easy to become a precinct committee person. Come January, you can become an appointed PC. But basically, just getting 10 signatures to give up your voting rights. And it's very, very simple, and there's lots of spaces open. In 2018, I ran for the second vice chair of the Maricopa County Democratic Party board, and I fell short, by like 40 some odd votes to an incumbent. But there was over 2,200 open precinct committee positions in Maricopa County, and Recorder Fontes, well, former Recorder Fontes, 11 pieces. I was told by a friend of mine that, you know, these precincts have about 156 or so odd voters that they're responsible for.
Yeah.
So when you have 2,200 open precinct committee positions, you have like 340,000, 350,000 potential people that we could be having conversations with if we have precinct committee people.
Yeah.
That's enough to flip a lot of these county seats. We can't have these positions open like this. They should be full. There's more than enough voters here. We just have to do a better job educating people about all of it.
Absolutely.
No, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Gracias. Un placer
You're
tenerte.
welcome.
Un placer. Gracias. Yeah, and just thank you so much for pushing those difficult conversations. Again, the youth is the future, and that is where they're siding. And as a party, that's where we need to start building our infrastructure. So thank you so much. Love to have you on multiple times. And that's it.
Thank you. Yay. Oh,
Bye.
Bye.